Goat Liquor Harrison with the Goat Liquor Show, and we got a good one for you today, coming from the back of the goat.
Booty sweat. I gotta get my booty sweat.
Tropic Thunder. Tropic Thunder will blow your mind, says Peter Travers, with a Rolling Stone magazine. When I hear that, after I've seen this movie, for me, it makes me think of how much did Tropic Thunder pay Peter Travers to say, Tropic Thunder will blow your mind. Because in the end, Tropic Thunder blows your mind, but not in the ways that they intended for it to mean to the audience. It blows your mind in the physical sense. It turns your brain to mush, and you cease to believe that there can be a crappier movie than Tropic Thunder, because in the end, Tropic Thunder is nearly as bad as it gets. This movie, it stars Ben Stiller as the main actor, and the actor playing an actor in the movie, that is. Because the movie is about the making of another movie, in essence. The other two main characters are Jack Black, who's the generic fat boy who's addicted to heroin, and doesn't even know why he's in the military part for this movie. And there's also Robert Downey Jr., which is like mysteriously black for this movie. I could have sworn he was white in Iron Man, but who knows anymore with this CGI nowadays. Anyways, let's get to the point. Now Ben, his agent in the movie, hooks him up with this forthcoming movie in the Philippine Islands. It's going to be called Tropic Thunder. And Tropic Thunder is based off of the book that a war veteran wrote. He's one of 5 people who survived, the only people to survive like this battle. So out of the 5, 3 of which wrote books, and out of those 3, one of them went on to make a major motion picture. And Ben's agent is like totally and utterly devoted to himself. He really doesn't care about that, like Ben Stiller as the actor in the movie. And even after Ben starts acting in the movie, the only thing he's concerned about is getting Ben TiVo so he can be satisfied with all of his movie watching needs on his long hours of working days for the movie. So the movie breaks out. The actors in it, they're stupid, alright? They're bad. They're terrible actors. The investors for the movie, their investment, like their money that they've put into the movie is being lost because they have to do these major explosions and they can only do them once or twice. But every time they do them, the actors screw up the scene and then they have to redo it. And the investors start to get worried that this isn't going to turn out to be as good of a movie as they thought it was going to be. And so the war veteran that the one out of the 5 that wrote the book that was based off of the movie, that based the movie, ended up to slip this little idea to the director that if he wants this movie to really happen, go into the jungle and stage cameras everywhere. And while this is going on, just drop your boys in the middle of the jungle and leave them there. Just leave them with all the cameras, and then they'll be able to catch real fear. Like real acting potential at its greatest. And of course, when you have Ben Stiller with Jack Black, and Jack Black has a limited amount of heroin with him, and half of which is stolen by a little bird in the middle of the jungle. So you have Ben Stiller, as wacko as he is, Jack Black's losing it, Robert Downey Jr. Pretending to be a black man the entire movie. That just throws it off. And a few other minor characters are actually better than the major characters. In the Philippine Islands, the little Philippine people, they start attacking him, alright? And then they realize it's real when someone gets shot and chaos breaks out. The Philippines, long story short, the Filipinos catch Ben Stiller, and half the movie is the squadron of misfits trying to break out Ben Stiller from this imprisonment. And it's not even imprisonment. They only they only kept him alive because they saw like the one movie he did terrible in, and that's Simple Jack. The only funny part of this movie for me is when Jack Black, when they're in the rescuing attempts for Ben, they go into this village and Jack Black hides in this little hut. This hut was the drying hut for the final product of the heroin. And he's been going it's been 2 weeks since he's had heroin, and he's in the middle of the rainforest. So he was as desperate as it gets. And he gets in there, and he's just stroking this pot.